Okay, I wanted to do a quick video on using an old phone to set up or use as a server for audio, or I guess you could use it for anything. I'm using it for audio, but you could use it for much more if you wanted to. So, a couple things to start with. So, this got started with me when I upgraded my phone. I used to use a LG. This is a VG20. So, that's my old phone. It has a decent DAC in it, but I'm not using that. And it has, what does it have? It has a replaceable chip, so I can put a lot of memory into this if I want. I could put a terabyte chip in this, but that's expensive, and I have other memory around, and I wanted to set up a server with unlimited memory, really. So when I say this got started when I replaced my phone, I bought a Samsung phone, and it is their latest Galaxy Note 10 Plus or whatever the model they call it is. It has an operating system that'll launch into DeX. DeX is their version of a pseudo Windows display, and you're using another monitor. So when you use that, you use a DeX dock. So that's how I got into this. I bought a DeX dock, or a dock that will allow my device to work in DeX. And that's this. And this came off of AliExpress, I think, is where I bought it. And I think it was 20 bucks, 24 bucks, something like that. So what this is a dock for a Type-C device, right? Its build quality is not great. It is plastic, it is cheap, but it does the job. So what do we have? So we've got our dock, right? Type-C. Then on this side, we've got two USB 2.0s, right? So, right there, two of them. Here we've got our HDMI output if you were connecting a screen. And actually, you could do that too. You could have a big screen hooked up to this too to use, and a Bluetooth keyboard and a mouse if you want to run it that way. Power. You need a decent, this is Type-C power, and this is going to power your device while it's on this dock. So the beauty of this dock for me is I'm using a Type-C device. I'm powering the Type-C device. It's docked. I've got USB ports. This is a 3.0. And I can run it and leave it running, and it'll play while it's running, and while it's charging, I should say. So it's about being able to dock a phone, have it charged and constantly charging, and being able to output audio or whatever you would like from it through the Type-C. So on the other side, I said we had two USB 2.0s. On this side, we've got a USB 3.0, and then we've got two card slots, a micro SD and a full-size SD card slot. So for my purpose, I'm going to be providing power here. I'm not going to be using the HDMI, although I could set that up. That would be cool if I did. And then I'm using one of these to plug a hard drive in. And in this case, the hard drive I'm using is a Samsung T5. And this is a 2 terabyte drive. Right? So I'm going from the limitations of the memory a phone has to using the phone features, the Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth, and the Android operating system to use my phone to provide access to data on the net. So on my phone, I'm running two apps. I'm running a file manager app. It's recognizing the cards and that, but not the drive, because the drive's not plugged in yet either. So I've got my drive plugged in. I've got so I'm running two apps. I said I got distracted. What the apps that I'm running? One is a file manager app. This is ES and ES File Manager, but this one's outdated. I don't know if it's actually on the Play Store anymore. I still have a copy of it, and I use it on all my devices because I'm used to it and I like it. But there are other options. At any rate, what this does is it mounts the other drives. And not all the file managers will do that, but this one does. So I started up. I've got my internal memory, which is listed as 52, so it was be a 64 gig internal memory. I've got a card in the phone, which is a 128, so it's listed at 116. I've got a I've got a card plugged in, and I've got zero memory. It's not picking it up for some reason. I'll fix that in a minute. It's because I undocked it and docked it. And then I've got my, so this is my drive, and there's no power to it, and that's why it's not picking it up right now. Let's go back. And this is my SD card, which is in the side of this drive. And that is 128 gigs as well. So I could plug another drive into this as well. It's really, it's allowing me to have unlimited storage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this into my system. I'm going to use a tablet to control it, and I'm going to get it to run. Before I go, this is another alternative. Same thing as this, essentially. It's, has slightly different features. On this side, we've got our HDMI for a big screen. We've got our power in, and you need a good power in when you use these. We've got our micro SD, our SD card, and then we've got 3 2.0 USBs. So Type-C on the end. So you plug this in. This creates, it's like an OTG hub is what it really is. And from this, I can plug in an external DAC. I can plug in memory, power, screen, and more memory, and run it. So I use this as a hub when I'm traveling, when I don't have a dock. So it allows me to plug things into my phone and access them, primarily a larger screen or memory. And this will toss my phone into DeX mode as well, but that's only on certain Samsung devices that's of a benefit at all. Anyway, gonna pause, gonna plug this in, and then we're gonna run it. All right, so I'm plugged in. So on this side, I've plugged my USB cable into my DAC, which is here, which is a Gustard X26. My phone is hooked into it, and we're playing at 90. We'll be playing at 96, 2496. So, what I'm using is, I should show you what I'm using. So on my phone, I have set up, this is what's working best for me. Bubble PNP is the software. So I've set up a local rendering. So here on my libraries, local and cloud. I could also use my AK380, but I'm trying to get away from that. Okay, so this is a tablet. On this tablet, I've installed an application which is Hi-Fi. What is it called? Hi-Fi Cast. I like this app. You can use whatever one you want, but what this allows me to do is allows me to select my music library and music sources. And in this case, we'll refresh my list of what's available here. And I've got an AK380, which is capable of doing exactly what this phone is doing right now, but it's a lot more expensive. And then I've got the Bubble UN PNP media server, which is my LG H990, which is this phone right here. I'm also running ToasterCast on it as well because I'm trying the two of them out. There's some music players that work with ToasterCast fairly well that are perhaps a better music player than this one. This is not, it's a good utility device, if you like. It has all the basics, but it's not as flashy as you might want. So we're set up to, our music source is that, and then we're going to go to playback options, and in this case we've got options on what we can play back to. So I can play on this device, so I'm pulling my music from that and I'm playing it here. I've got my AK380, which is hooked up to optical on the same system. I can play out of it. I can stream direct to my Beolab 20 speakers. This is with Google, and this is direct to them. So this is with using Google through the Essence. I forget which is which now. Through the Essence, I'm going to be streaming LDAC. Same with the Bang & Olufsen A9. So down here, what I've selected is I've selected to use my Bubblecast. So again, I've got a server and a renderer running on this in Bubblecast, right? So Bubblecast is both my server, and I've set up the server to select the database, which is my hard drive, and it takes a minute. That's a 2 terabyte hard drive. So when you hook things up, sometimes there can be a bit of a lag while you're scanning and loading your music. The same when you're using this. Right, so, and it really doesn't matter. So this is my music library, which is here, and I'm pulling it through through my Wi-Fi. And again, this is unlimited, and I'm using this for audio, but you can do video too if you prefer to hook that up. And actually, with the USB, with the HDMI coming out of this, there you go. You hook this into a display, you've got whatever you want here, and you're controlling it over there. It's all pretty so now when you change songs, there's about a 10-second lag while it loads the buffer, and then it will come on. That's a bit annoying, but if you're using a playlist, no big deal. But we're on. And we're streaming, and we're going, well, we're hardwired actually. This is hardwired into this, and we're playing the music from that. There you go. I hope I covered that off. I didn't organize it or plan it very well, but there you have it. You're using an old phone, or I'm using an old phone, hard drive, a dock, and I've got a music server set up with unlimited memory, and features are only going to get better with it. I'm just using apps off the App Store. So on my phone, I've got the two of them set up, which is Toastercast or Bubble. And Bubble works a little better. I'm still sorting some stuff out on the artwork. I had it working yesterday, and I've unchecked a box somewhere which is telling it to upload and transmit all the artwork to the file as well. But there it is. If you like it, click like, and please subscribe. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.